Hello, and welcome to the Geo-Innovation Speaker Series. This is the second event in the series, and this time we are excited to be talking about advancing the geospatial mission and how NGA is driving innovation and collaboration to support their mission. As a quick reminder, the Geo-Innovation National Speaker Series is a collaboration between some of my favorite innovation hubs, Cortex, T-Rex, and GeoFutures, an initiative of the recently formed Regional Economic Development Organization, Greater St. Louis, Inc. That was launched in to bolster the St. Louis region's rapidly growing geospatial sector and to develop a strategic plan for the future. I have the honor of introducing the two speakers today. Vice Admiral Robert Sharp is the 7th Director of the National Intelligence Agency. Vice Admiral Sharp leads and directs NGA under the authorities of the Secretary of Defense and Director of National Intelligence. He became the NGA's director on February 7, 2019. Also, is serving NGA in dual functions, very busy, of NGA West Executive and Program Director, Next NGA West. As the WX, Ms. Pollmann is the NGA's director's point person on the ground at the facilities in the St. Louis metro area, ensuring synchronization across all West mission areas, providing representation for the interests of the workforce and interacting on behalf of the agency with the local community. As the program director for N2W, Sue oversees the planning, design, and construction of a new campus in St. Louis to replace the NGA 2nd Street facility. Please pause for a second and take a moment to watch our video.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
We have arrived at a historic inflection point for our nation, NGA, and the geospatial intelligence community. This is a time of great change and great challenge, but also one of great hope and great opportunity. Our competitors are seeking to press the advantage in every domain. They are not just pursuing sophisticated weapons, they are pursuing the technology and knowledge to make themselves better than us at geospatial intelligence. But we won't let them. We will win this competition with the greatest geospatial technologists our country has to offer. Analysts, data scientists, image scientists, geographic information systems specialists, data engineers, user experience engineers, and software developers. We will make better software faster and give our country the advantage to see beyond the seen, know beyond the known, and to act decisively if called upon to do so. Our country rallied around sending an American to the moon in the 60s, and NGA's predecessors showed the way by charting the moon and mapping the lunar landing sites. So, in that spirit, NGA is showing the way again by charting a course that closes the gap and shortens the time from observation to action, by finding the intelligence in the noise at the speed mission demands. This is NGA's Moonshot. Introducing Moonshot Labs, St. Louis, Missouri. Moonshot Labs started with an idea that we, NGA, partnering with industry and academia, can build a better technology ecosystem here in St. Louis by building an innovation lab in the St. Louis Downtown Innovation District. an idea embedded in the future of NGA's new West headquarters being built just blocks away, and that we can start today, not wait for our new campus to be built. That we can be better citizens of the region, better partners with St. Louis, and we can contribute not only to national security, but local growth that will help secure our country for generations to come. Moonshot Labs will support software development specializing in geospatial technology, accelerators focused on solving some of our hardest problems, seeking help from startups, businesses, and universities with good ideas, new methods, cutting-edge technology, and a desire to change the world. Our software developers are working close with industry to establish DevSecOps, modern product management, and a mission-focused, customer-focused mindset. We are the experts in geospatial intelligence and technology. We are leading the way. The time has come to take urgent and decisive action to reorient and realign the GeoInt community to navigate through this new operational environment. The revolution in GeoInt capabilities will move forward, whether we join it or not. We will not sit back and observe this revolution from the sidelines. We will lead it. We will not go back to all of our old processes and procedures. We will adopt new ways of doing business. We will emerge stronger, smarter, better, and as a team. Come join the revolution at Moonshot Labs in St. Louis, where we're building the future of geospatial intelligence.
Very exciting. We are going to talk more about Moonshot Labs, and I look forward to speaking more about that. So we have designed this to be a conversation, so please feel free to ask any questions that you would like in the question and answer section, and we'll attempt to get to those. So I'm going to start the conversation with these wonderful experts with the first question. As a member of GeoFutures, we had quite a few discussions about the term geospatial and how we could explain it in different communities. So there are a variety of different individuals joining us today with different levels of knowledge as it relates to geospatial. You all have geospatial in your name. So how would you define geospatial?
Hey, first of all, Dr. Hollins, it's just great to see you and to be participating in this GeoFutures. And for those I can't see that are joining us here, thanks for taking the time to be here with us, on this really important topic, right? It's not about what we're doing now, it's about what we're going to be doing together in the future, which we're really excited about. And I'll start off the answer, and then I'll always allow my colleague, Sue Pollmann, any right of adding or correcting me if she needs to. But if you think about geospatial in simple terms, right? Geo, which comes from Greek and Latin, meaning earth, right? In Greek, and there's spatial, which comes from Latin and means relating to occupying space, right? So geospatial means everything that happens on planet Earth, right? It happens at a place and a certain time. So when you look at data points in relation to specific places and specific times, it's geospatial, right? So that's what we mean by geospatial. And geospatial intelligence is information derived from geospatial data, right? Geospatial is everything you can see or know about the Earth. And that's what we at NGA specialize in, is geospatial intelligence. And we didn't start with that name. We were founded almost 25 years ago. This will be our 25th anniversary as the National Intelligence Mapping Agency. But the name was changed by former NGA director and former director of national intelligence, Jim Clapper, back in 2003. And it was part of our journey to really build our team, the cohesiveness of our team. And if you know some about NGA, we say we exist, our why purpose. We exist to show the way, right? To get you from point A to point B, either physically, safely, on time, right, on target, or in the decision process. And we do so uniquely by combining this knowledge of the Earth, a description of its physical characteristics from seabed to space, with some experts in the exciting science fields of bathymetry, topography, aerography, geodesy, those sorts of skill sets. But that knowledge of the Earth is necessary so that we can start to build the products and the services our forces, our policymakers, our decision makers, our first responders use to do their job. You also know that need that detailed knowledge of the Earth so you can start to layer on top of it observations of what's happening where, an understanding of the world, right? So that's what we're talking about when you talk about geospatial intelligence, geospatial intelligence, National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency. And we really do that in partnership with a whole community, which is really why we're excited about the partnerships that we're developing and evolving out in St. Louis, right? Because we're interested in expanding and strengthening our partnerships with everybody who use geospatial tools to understand what's happening where. And if I can make a shameless plug, if you haven't seen it, we redesigned our website, www.nga.mil. And there's a quick promotion video on there similar to the one you just watched, but more broader, that talks about who we are. It also contains some information on how you can work with us. Sue, did I get that just about right?
Yes, you covered it very well. Thank you.
Anything to add to that, Sue?
No, I agree. You just played a great video, which really gets at the heart of where this agency is going, and we'll talk a little bit about where N2W is going. But the Admiral is exactly right. There's some great information on that website. It's honestly, I think, eye-watering to see everything that this agency's involved in at a high level as are expressed in those videos. So they're a great resource for folks who want to understand a little bit more about what is this geospatial thing that we hear about now.
It's such a big conversation. I remember being part of GeoFutures, and that's what we kind of kept trying to get our minds around is what is it really? And it's such a big field, and there are so many different positions available. I guess that leads me to my next question. I was extremely fortunate to be able to lead a group of leaders through a tech talent initiative, and through that work, and as we see in the headlines, both here in St. Louis and beyond, there is a significant need for tech talent. And so, how is the organization building, growing, recruiting talent to support the mission needs in this field?
That's a great question. And you hit at the heart of what we consider our strength, which is really our people and the creative genius that they bring to solving complex problems. And it's true that we are interested. We're always in a competition to spot, assess, and recruit, and maintain our nation's best. And it's why we're excited about what we're doing specifically in St. Louis, because we are convinced that some of our nation's best and brightest are right there in the local community, right? And this working with the great university, Harris-Stowe State University. And, we're looking at partnering in every single way imaginable, right? And starting to expose to people the art of the possible for the future in these and related fields, right? St. Louis is a great region for doing this. The first time I was relatively new at the agency here, and I was in San Antonio, Texas, at a symposium sponsored by the U.S. Geospatial-Intelligence Foundation, and it brings together a lot of tech companies to expose their But I got to meet former St. Louis Mayor Lyda Crewson down there, and she spoke. And St. Louis had a booth on, and they were saying STL made. And at that point, St. Louis was committed to really growing the city as the geospatial tech hub of the nation and beyond. And tapping into local talent is part of that journey for us. And as you're well aware, last fall, in the midst of the pandemic, I signed an education partnership agreement, or EPA, with Harris Stowe State University, with Dr. Corey Bradford, a great leader himself and a visionary. Allows NGA professionals and Harris Stowe faculty, staff, and students to work together to develop the next generation of science, technology, engineering, and math educators, right? Superb STEM educators are essential to train and inspire the next generation of STEM professionals. Right? This new partnership also provides Harris Stowe students and faculty with access to NGA's personnel, our facilities, our technology, so they can learn about and collaborate in the disciplines associated with NGA's mission. Right? Our hope is that once they see that NGA is capable of, what they see we're capable of, what we're involved in, they might decide they want to work in the geospatial arena, either with us directly or with many of the other partners that are involved in using geospatial technology and geospatial perspective to solve problems, right? Because we use the tools mainly for security, humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, government matters, but there's a broad range of use for these tools because everything happens in time and space, right? And we get involved in time and space. One exciting thing that came out of the EPA was the GeoHornet Mapathon that was just executed not too long ago. An event where Harris Stowe students mapped nearly 600 buildings, right, in North St. Louis. It gave Harris Stowe students who participated an opportunity to develop their mapping and geospatial technology skills, preview what a career in the geospatial industry might be like, right? And what we hope is that it sparked an interest, right, that may lead to a career at NGA or other agencies or other industry partners who are involved in these things. We also have relationships supporting research and student education with many of the other colleges and universities in the region as well, right? Including University of Missouri, Washington University, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, just to name a few. And something else we're proud of coming up here in September, we're partnering with St. Louis University to co-host the Geo-Resolution Conference in September. That's open to students from across the region, right? And it'll feature speakers and panelists on topics of geospatial innovation, ethics, and careers, as well as opportunities to connect with the geospatial professionals and organizations. Another NGA effort that we're really proud of is the K16R working group, right? K16R, which stands for kindergarten through college and into retirement. It's a holistic approach to workforce management and tradecraft development. It's a proactive means to manage our future workforce to ensure mission tomorrow while making it more equitable and diverse, right? Through focusing not just the youth, but also on the support structure around the students, integrating future educators into tradecraft development, and developing capacity in underrepresented communities where we're looking to increase the volume and velocity of STEM/GeoInt professionals into the workforce. So St. Louis, is such an active member in the U.S. geospatial intelligence community, and we're happy that U.S. Geospatial Intelligence Foundation has chosen St. Louis this year to come host their symposium. Really excited about that. I hope that gives you a good feel for your question there.
It does. And you did my shameless plug as well. So I appreciate you for that.
It's like we've been talking together a bunch.
Exactly. The part of that, it's so many aspects to that agreement. But the part of the agreement that really, one part of the agreement that really stuck out for me is teaching the teachers. Because I, really recognize that we're asking teachers to teach their, their normal classes and their normal topics, but nobody's teaching the teachers about these geospatial topics in order for our students to learn and be engaged and to become part of that tech talent pipeline. So for us to have a partnership where we actually can engage educators in this field, they have no choice but to engage students in it once they learn about it, because it's just a very fascinating field.
Dr. Hollis, I know you're passionate about education and creating the future. One of the things we're also excited about is it's not National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency, but there's industry partners who are stepping up as well. That's right. True. And are excited to work with the community and to work with the schools. And I'm pretty sure there's some tech industry partners who are also providing technology, some computing power, some of the tools in the K through 12 systems out there, some resources so that our future can start to think about this science, these tools, their potential uses, right? And start to imagine career fields, some of which probably don't even exist right now.
Absolutely. That exposure is so very important so that they can become part of that pipeline. Sue, did you have any additions to partnerships or any additional information on that?
I think just on I think you saw a little bit again in that video about the strategic imperative that NGA is facing, that our field is facing in terms of the need for workforce development. So starting as young as kindergarten to get kids interested in STEM education, to get them certainly interested and funneled into geospatial is incredibly important. We can have all the greatest technology in the world if we don't have the people coming in the door of NGA, coming in the door of our industry partners, coming in the door of the graduate programs at our academic partners to do this hard work that we have to do. We're sunk without the people, and we have to start young. The pool for many reasons of these young, talented individuals needs to be bigger. And I've said for a long time, we here in St. Louis and in the greater metro area need to keep our talent here. And to do that, we have to have something to offer them. So I think NGA and the geospatial world is a wonderful thing to share with these young people, to get them excited about learning the fields and honestly staying here where we need them.
I agree. I think that there are so many different ways we can engage the younger generation in this field as well. And if we start early, then it's not anything new to them as they grow up with it. It's just expanding on that knowledge. So I totally agree.
Dr. Hollins, if I could build on there, because you're getting me excited about another topic here, was the making the opportunity. And one of the things we have talked about is internships, and creating those opportunities. And not only with us, but there's other industry partners who are coming in or also creating those opportunities, for internships. And I think it was all the way back in, I mentioned Geo-Resolution coming up in September here this year. It was back in like April of 19. I was at St. Louis University at a Geo-Resolution Conference, and we had just announced the awarding of the company that got the contract for building our new facility. But something else that was really neat there, at Geo-Resolution, there was Dr. Dwayne Smith, right, who at that time, I believe, was provost at Harris-Stowe State University. He happened to be on a panel, and we were making this announcement. He stood up and said, "Hey, I love the agency." He said, "Because when I was in high school, I was an intern." And he said, "That was a life-changing event for me," right? That was a life-changing event for me, that opportunity, because it opened up some doors. He said, I used to, brag about it back at school. And it's one of the things I'm looking at doing is we have a really good, college and graduate level internship, but we're looking at re-implementing some high school opportunities as well. Just get the kids thinking about this stuff sooner. And whenever I do that, I throw down that challenge to others in the geospatial community as well. So really exciting times out there. And I talked to Dr. Smith after that, and I said, hey, we need to do something together. Of course, he went on to a different position, but Harris Stowe didn't give up on that dream.
No, it still happened, Vice Admiral.
We still have that dream, and it was a magical moment when we actually got together to sign that education partnership agreement.
Absolutely. All right, so now you got me excited. I feel the same way about its exposure and for our communities, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But for now, we did see the video, Ms. Pollmann, and about Moonshot Labs, and I'm very excited to hear more about it. Can you give us an overview? I know we saw the video about the lab, when it will open, if we have an idea of that, and how can the innovation community partner or collaborate with Moonshot Labs?
That's a great question, and I'll start off, and then I'll hand it over to Sue as always to add and correct if needed. And then I know we have some questions coming up on our new construction too, and Sue's a deep expert in that. We had, we've been managed to make progress even through the pandemic in establishing our presence there. It's scheduled to be open this summer in the T-Rex Innovation Center downtown, which is a great innovation center, a nonprofit innovation center that's in small, sometimes startup companies that are as small as like 1 or 2 individuals, or something a little larger, and we're excited about being there for one thing, but we're excited about what'll happen in collaboration with other people who are there as well. So I'm traveling right now to travel out to St. Louis for the ribbon cutting ceremony. Tentatively scheduled in July. Looking forward to it. Somebody just sent me a note saying July 23rd right now. Not only because I love getting out to St. Louis, but because the exciting things that will result from the teamwork, right, that Moonshot Labs is going to foster. It's the first ever innovation center for us, about 12,000 square feet of shared workspace that offers a preview of the unprecedented collaborative environment to come at NGA's next NGA West campus when it opens up in 2025. You may have heard me talking about NGA's Moonshot, right, which is our agency's operational goal to organize and prioritize our efforts to pivot towards strategic competition and embrace innovation. And it's a crucial effort to help NGA, the United States, and our allies maintain GeoInt superiority, being the best and leading the industry at how we use the technology. And it's all about embracing innovation, right? Innovation and collaboration to achieve that. It's about forging connections between NGA, academia, industry, community to help transform how we do business. Now, the main focus will be on software development as tradecraft, and they'll align with our agency's strategies, imperatives, Moonshot, mission imperatives. However, we'll also have other skill sets involved in there, right, in residence too. And I'm real excited because I understand that Harris Stowe also is establishing some presence there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people coming into both T-Rex and Cortex, right? And as 2 innovation hubs. And as I said, I'm not only excited about our presence there, but it's just the co-location with a lot of little different startup entities or some more established industry partners. And not only what happens in our own spaces, but what happens when people start walking into each other's spaces, right? And sharing ideas. It's just a tremendous time, and we're really excited about it. as was displayed in the movie. You know, we were very deliberate about talking about the 60s and how we came together as a nation, really getting the best and the brightest of our nation to help solve hard problems. Right? And it's in our history. As we noted there, the history and mapping agencies between our capabilities here and in the St. Louis area, where individuals from this agency thought about, mapped out the moon, named its features, worked with the brave individuals that went on that journey, and we have some of our history, in our archives, feedback from those astronauts saying thank you, because it helped us get to where we needed to be.
Very inspiring. Susan, anything to add to that, or?
Well, I'll just say, the practical matter is we're not set up today at NCW or really any other NGA facilities to do this kind of partnership and outreach. The physical nature of our security structures just don't allow it. So it is just going to be absolutely wonderful to have this space at the T-Rex. I think our folks will be, it'll be great to have eyes and ears there on the ground, as Vice Admiral Sharp pointed out, just to even reach out and touch and talk with other entities that are working in the spaces, or to jump over to Cortex, see what's going on there, to the Globe building where we've got industry partners, to the various universities. But the other great thing is, because we'll have a presence there, those folks will know what's going on. And, it's a quick phone call back over here to 2nd Street or Arnold to a colleague to say, hey, get over here, come see what's going on here. You need to check this out in terms of mission application. So until we get N2W up and running and have some spaces similar to this that we can use, this is going to just give us a real leg up in terms of just knowing what's going on out there. And not just being here on 2nd Street in our little bubble.
And with this, just to be clear, with this Unclassified Innovation Center, we're not the first to do this, in government. We've seen other government agencies do this to great effect, and which has helped, our collaboration with them and looking at how they've created spaces like this to expand cooperation very effectively, and we think we need to do this for the geospatial community as well.
I agree. I love the incubator spaces and the innovation spaces for one of the reasons you said too, because it's just being in each other's spaces. It gives you an opportunity to plan together or to have conversations that spark new ideas. And to have that collaboration really does, that's really where innovation happens. It's just through those conversations. They are built in order for us to walk into each other's spaces for that reason.
It happens at the coffee bar.
Exactly. When I learned about the coffee bar, and this is where you have to go get coffee, so you'll have to run into Vice Admiral Sharp or Susan Pollmann, then I fell in love with that idea. And I thought we should do that in many more of our organizations, because that really is where a lot of those conversations are held and partnership happens. So speaking of partnerships and innovation, the recent announcement of the partnership with Missouri Technology Corporation, MTC, and the Accelerator with Capital Innovators, it was huge news in St. Louis. So can you tell us more about the innovative partnership and what NGA hopes to gain, and if you have any more cohorts or opportunities planned for the future?
You got grabbed another one that I'm extremely excited about and passionate about. It's our first technology accelerator, and it took a lot of work to get here, but through this effort, run with MTC and Capital Innovators, we're able to engage with early stage companies and small businesses interested in developing the next generation of geospatial technology with NGA. We're planning 2 technology accelerator cohorts, right? The first cohort of 8 companies selected from over 360 applicants started in March and runs through the end of this month. right, June. The first cohort teamed up the selected companies with subject matter experts from NGA's Foundation GeoIn office. The application phase for cohort 2 is set to begin this fall, where 8 more companies will be selected to team with NGA analysts in the analysis directorate. And, innovation is really a team sport and a diverse team sport, requiring the combined skills of people with the ability to see the forest through the trees. And NGA's MTC and Capital Innovators collaboration is providing opportunities in the St. Louis region for 16 promising early stage companies, right? Companies will help us shape future technologies before our competitors, providing superior support to our warfighters, our policymakers, our first responders, and continuing to help us be the world leader in GeoInt. So, the NGA Accelerator brings the best of the region to fuel and grow the St. Louis geospatial ecosystem. And we're really excited about where it is now and where it's going in the future.
Very exciting. Anything to add, Sue? Or
No, I'll just say I've long been jealous of Patty Hagan and all the fun stuff they get to do down at T-Rex. So I'm just happy that NGA gets to play in that sandbox a bit. And again, for good purposes. I think we're going to get some really great stuff out of this first cohort, and can't wait to see what the second cohort brings.
awesome. Well, we are pretty nosy around here about the next NGA Campus West. And would like to know if construction is still on schedule. And also, how will the new campus change the way NGA interacts with the innovation community? You think it'll serve as a model for others, or fill us in on the next campus?
Yeah, so if you get to drive by there, there's a lot going on. We are currently on schedule, despite a lot of tough weather over the winter and quite a bit of rain this spring. So currently McCarthy Hitt and the Army Corps of Engineers are keeping this construction on schedule. You see a lot of steel going up now. Foundations are mainly in place. The parking garages are going in. The central utility plant is now also coming up out of the ground. So just tons of good stuff over there, not to mention tons of steel and tons of concrete. The team told me there were 6,000 tons. So I had to do the math, 6,000 tons of good old American structural steel. And so that's 12 million pounds. So that's a lot. Yeah, so that part is going wonderfully. So we're still on track to complete construction of the buildings themselves by the end of 23. And then we would spend all of 2024 installing all of the wonderful technology we need to do our business, with move-ins still happening early 2025. So yeah, all is moving forward. On the innovation piece, we've talked a little bit about that already. Vice Admiral Sharp always likes to say it's more than a building. And for a long time, I've kind of compared it almost to a weapon system, right? And when you build a weapon system, you have requirements that come from a threat. And we saw a little bit of that again in that wonderful video. We talk about, what the enemy has and in store for us, and what they're trying to achieve in the geospatial sector, and how we need to stay ahead. So we need a facility that's, kind of living and breathing and giving us the tools we need, but also the spaces we need to bring in all of these different types of folks that need to help us with our mission, and then ultimately to attract people, because people, are absolutely what we need. So all of those things are mission imperatives. On the innovation front, we will have a multitude of different types of spaces, but a very specific purpose-built innovation lab that's unclassified. So similar to what we're doing over at Moonshot. What this lab, though, does give us is the immediate proximity in the building with the things going on in the classified zone of our building, so that it's very easy to pick up and take, say, an application or a software development and bring it into our classified area to use and try out on some of our classified mission sets. So those I think are really important. Yes, we're kind of stepping out in terms of the IC, and a lot of folks from the IC, and honestly from a lot of our other partner organizations, whether it's our foreign partners, our international partners, and even industry, are interested in what we're doing, because we've, again, with a purpose-built building, we have been able to design for this mission set, to bring in wireless. Wireless in the classified environment's been pretty unheard of. So we'll have, wireless applications going on in these new unclassified, more open spaces, but then also to allow our workforce to better collaborate even in the classified parts of our building. So I think all of that's important from the standpoint, again, of bringing the people in that we need to partner with. Students will have a learning center. So we talked about K through 16. We are actually going to have a space where we can bring young students in. We can have a school bus come in, and these young people can come in, and we're anticipating we're going to have this cool globe that we can show a lot of different images and just different aspects of our business on. We'll be able to host different types of learning sessions. We'll be able to bring in university students also, whether it's to work in the lab or also learn more about what we do. So this facility is going to allow us to bring this huge enterprise together under one roof to work together, which I think, again, we're hearing an awful lot of enthusiasm amongst our partners and amongst, just as many people as we talk to about how we're designing the building to accommodate all of that and still be secure, right? So that's been our challenge, but it is also just our great opportunity. And I think N2W is going to be able to deliver on all of those kind of challenges we set for ourselves early on, again, to answer the threat that we know is coming down the road.
Yeah, and let me just on one point there, we haven't figured it out yet. We're still on a journey to figure out how we can operate new technology safely and smarter and everything. And although Sue was describing that kind of as a weapon system, certainly not at all a weapon system. It's a lot of what we do in the unclassified realm we've done historically, mapping and charting, and working with geospatial perspective. And we're excited about what we're building out there.
It's very exciting, and it demystifies what a lot of people were thinking, that this huge building would come and it would be closed off to so many people. And to hear about all of the activities that you have planned to be able to bring people into the building and learn more about NGA is very, very exciting, because a lot of people felt that it would just be a building that would be closed off. So to hear about all of this engagement that will happen with education and other partners is very exciting. I'm glad to hear that. And speaking of being inclusive, since the early days of announcing that the campus was going to be located on the north side, NGA has asserted that they were embracing the community. I remember being part of GeoFutures, and we had some really good conversations, really transparent conversations about the importance of being inclusive. Can you provide some examples and that highlight NGA's efforts to be inclusive of those community members?
Yeah, so early on, after the site was announced, we were already kind of developing our requirements for this facility. So we almost got out into the neighborhoods to talk with the local community. What types of things would they like to see in our design, for instance? How could we make the facility, which granted is big and it's, you know, occupying a lot of acreage, and it is a government facility and it's secure. So how could we do things to make it just fit better? Again, always, we've been very conscious of the fact all along that we are becoming a part of a neighborhood. So that was really important to us. So we did get a lot of input from the community on the design and some preferences and things. So for one example, you know, we're incorporating brickwork in our exterior facade, and just to try to not really mimic, but pay homage to the architecture that exists already in the neighborhood. That's absolutely beautiful. Our neighbors at the Griot Museum hosted a community event where, after we had a design for our exterior fence line, we were able to show that to the community, share that design, get further comments and inputs, which I think was really helpful, again, just to show that we valued what we were hearing from the local neighborhood. So that was important. We continue as an agency to attend neighborhood meetings and participate with Project Connect when they have their sessions. I think that's important, just to be available should people have questions about what's going on with the project. Our Army Corps of Engineers partners have a very close working relationship also with the city of St. Louis to ensure that we're keeping everyone informed. You know, simple things like when will we be moving a lot of earth and maybe causing dust to kick up, or when maybe will there be loud noises, you know, just so we can, again, just be polite and be good neighbors. Obviously, we already talked about the EPA, the Educational Partnership Agreement with Harris Stowe. That's huge. I mean, Harris Stowe is so close to the N2W site. So it's really exciting to have that agreement, but then, you know, also to keep working with some of our other university partners. Our OCC, our Office of Corporate Communications, is working with Army Corps of Engineers and hosting neighborhood visits, open houses to the site this summer. Those will be kind of by reservation, but that'll be a great opportunity for anyone who is interested to come over, see what's going on, ask questions. We have an observe deck that folks can get up and really see firsthand what's happening with the construction. And then one of the things we've really emphasized too is this huge construction project and the opportunities that it potentially brings to the community. So the Army Corps of Engineers has hosted a number of different types of community fairs and engagements, have been very focused on construction jobs and helping folks match up with various resources available here to get into the construction field. So that's been important. But also we have a number of what we call small business set-aside. So contracts that will be focused on small businesses that will come up to finish off the project. So those will be for things like building our access controls points and doing the entire 97 acres of landscaping that will need to be done, and a number of other ones. So the Army Corps has been out there trying to make the connections and encourage local businesses to get involved and potentially be contractors for those projects. So I think all of those things working together have represented a great way for NGA to stay in touch with the community. I know, and the other thing I'll say, one of our best, if not the best ambassador, is Vice Admiral Sharp. I remember when we had the groundbreaking and we had the city hosted a reception the night before. I think Admiral Sharp got to know just about everyone in the neighborhood when he was out here, and he continues to, reach out and touch folks who contact him, and to answer
Along those
questions and
lines,
deal
one of
with.
the things I'm really excited about is the leadership, government leadership out there. And we had our first phone conversation with Congresswoman Bush out there. And I haven't been able to meet her in person, but I had a instant connection with her, and she said, what I'm really focused on is the community, right? And we talked about her support for projects in and around the area, also with the governor's support for projects in and around the area. And I'm having my first phone conversation, myself and Dr. Stacy Dixon are with Mayor Jones this Friday, I believe, and looking forward to continuing the strong relationship that we have with the local government, who have been advocates for investments in and around our facility, for the community.
And I think you said the word exactly what it is. It's all about relationship with the community. And I totally agree with Sue that you really make it a point to embed yourself in the community so people feel comfortable speaking to you about both the joy and the concerns of everything that's happening in the community. So it is definitely appreciated that you take the time to do that and to learn and speak with local government, and to make sure that the message is that it is about inclusivity, and to find those different ways to make sure that everybody is included. So it's valued, and we appreciate that. All right. I do not have any questions on my screen. If there's anything else, feel free to let me know. But if not, I'll just say I have truly enjoyed this conversation. I'm often working here in the halls of Harris Stowe and don't get to hear enough about where we are and where we stand with the new building, the Moonshot Labs, and all of this information has even been helpful for me to catch up on, because I haven't reached out lately to find out where we stood. So I really appreciate all the information you shared, all the knowledge you've shared about geospatial. For my community, I'd say plug in where you can. What I've learned about geospatial is that it is entry level all the way up to things I'll never understand. So to just check in and find out, share with people in this space what you like to do, what you enjoy doing. And there is a space in geospatial for you, because there is just so many different aspects to this field. So, I do have a question. How can NGA leadership continue to work to limit concerns of displacement and gentrification in its new neighborhood? I think you've kind of spoken to that, but feel free to add anything else.
One of the things we continue to do is meet on a monthly basis with St. Louis Development Corporation. So by doing that, I think we're staying in close touch with what's going on in terms of development around the neighborhood. And I know organizations like GeoFutures are looking at that fine balance of development and building up the area economically, while at the same time trying to avoid the gentrification. So I think we're kind of as a team approaching this in the right way. And I think we're all on the same page there, but I do stay in very close contact with St. Louis Development Corporation, and they're, I think, well aware of those concerns, and continue to work for the best, to again find the best balance for the community as a whole.
And I would add, I believe that engaging students in the way that you've spoken from K through 16, and informing them about geospatial and the technologies, and getting them involved in the field will empower them to be part of the geospatial community, not only live in it. And I think that's one of the important things that we can do, is to make sure that they know that they have a place in that space as well. So I think all of those things are happening. So I'm hopeful that that not only do they live in the community, but that they serve in the community as well.
That's right. And it's something we've said from day one is if we do this right, there will be this connection, right? This connection that really happens between the community, the government, who happens just to be co-located, and the community thinks of that as theirs, right? That's part of us. And working with the universities, I've been real impressed to see the education community partner in amazing ways out there. And I know Harris Stowe is partnering with other universities out there, and cooperating. And I was talking to somebody about some of the great cooperation going on between yourselves and St. Louis University and some of the other fine institutes out there. And somebody said, that doesn't normally happen like at that level. I'm like, well, it is now.
It is.
It is now. And people say, how's that happen? I'm like, they're just doing it. They're just coming together to do, because it's in the best interest of the city, of the region, of the nation, of the world, right? Is to operate that way.
Absolutely. It did. Education, I've been in it 20 years. So it used to be such a territorial space, but we've realized and understand the value of collaboration, that it only expands what we can do for our scholars and communities. So
it's our future.
It is.
Collectively.
Well, thank you very much for this wonderful conversation. Thank all of you all who have attended and shared this time with us today. We know that Zoom room is out there, so we appreciate you spending your time with us. Vice Admiral Sharp and Mrs. Pollmann, I really appreciate your conversation today. I would like to also remind you of the next session of this National Speaker Series, which is hosted by T-Rex, Cortex, and GeoFutures. We are going to take the month of July off, but we'll be back in August for an AG-focused panel. So stay tuned for more details, and that's ag focused, but stay tuned for more details, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.